Hi guys, Togo here with a new video, and this video will be a survival hunter video about the beta. It is finally reworked, and I want to talk about the specifics about the rework. We did talk about the class tree on two videos, the BM1 and the MM1. I'm going to do short the survival one because it's kind of the same. And then we are going to talk about the spec tree and what I find interesting. And again, I don't have like the best build ever because I think it needs testing, but I do feel like with this you can jump into arena or BGs or even duels, and I think have fun. So Survival Hunter got a rework. I think it is now maybe officially one of, if not the hardest spec to play because of the amount of keybinds you have, the amount of uh, things you have to know about the spec, that I think it is a complicated spec and not maybe for everyone, but I do believe it's way more fun than before. Now you can literally be a explosive shot machine. You can be the gunslinging survival plus also having your mongoose bite, having quick shot being turned into explosive shot. I mean, you have some great things going on. For example, here, sulfur lined pockets, every three quick shots is replaced with an explosive shot at 100% effectiveness. And God knows how much damage it is. So now let's talk about the class tree really quickly. We do start with kill shot, and then we can go below the tree. So we take every single defensive talent for survival because again you're like now a bit more tanky than usual because of the mastery change I'm going to discuss afterwards, but also in general I think it is a lot easier to become sturdiness, I would say, as a hunter. So you will be able to survive more damage than previous expansion with Shadowlands, for example, or with Dragonflight. Um, with Survival Hunter right now, it will be feeling like you are going to be very slippery. So you get the tar trap, you get the double dispel with tranquilizing shot. I decided to not take Misdirection and Scout's Instincts anymore because I did test it and I didn't like it. It was actually very like underpowered, so I didn't feel like it was very strong. We have, of course, muzzle, and it is on a 13-second CD. I think 11-second even, not 13-second CD, which is quite nice because again you have like a 2-second reduction on lone survivor. So you're comparable with a wind shear pretty much. Obviously, it is not ranged, but it's still very strong. Then you have obviously your survival of the fittest, which is on a 1.5 minute CD. It should be lower normally, but I think it is normal and logical that it is a 1.5 minute CD because I think a 1 minute CD would be too strong. Um, you get also an extra charge, and it is a 8 second duration, so it is comparable with Evoker, but not as strong as the Evoker one, like Wall. You have intimidation, and then you have a choice between if your pet dies or you don't have a pet, you can do an intimidating shot, stun, without having a pet, and it will be summoned. And also it will stun two additional nearby enemies. For DR purposes, I don't really like it because we already have binding shot, so you are going to put everyone on DR, and maybe it's not something you really want. But reducing the CD of intimidation and binding shot might be something interesting for you. It's a 45-second CD binding shot, so it's actually effectively better than intimidation on most aspects. You have explosive shot really easy, and it is a staple ability for survival because you are able to either reset the cooldown or even spam it for 4 seconds, so it's actually very strong. We have also high explosive trap, and it is a very fun ability. To be honest, it's very fun to knock people away, especially if you are putting a macro with disengage. You can basically disengage and do an explosive trap behind you and get him blasted away, and then you are like creating distance. Like it would be 40 yards between you and the target. We have keen eyesight because I decided to go for a semi crit build. Not my gear though, but I might do that whenever I'm really testing it a bit more because I feel like crit can do wonders for survival, but you still don't want to lose mastery or haste. So it's going to be very hard. I think survival will be one of the most versatile specs out there for stats. So I think every stat is good for a survival hunter, and that might be even fun to play around. We have a 4-second stun on binding shot. We have scatter shot, really easy to take. We have camouflage. We have born to be wild. We have unnatural causes, which is like increased damage on dot effects, which is very good. We have death chakrams, again the same. We have serrated tips, which I think is bugged, but I need to test. But on live service, I think you will have to play that because there's so many modifiers around crit that it might be very useful for you. We have Trailblazer, unfortunately, which is not that good, but we have Roar of Sacrifice because of that. And imagine if you're playing versus a Assassination Rogue or something in the genre, I would say. You could play Emergency Salve, or for example, if you're playing versus Unholy Decay, that you know he's playing Disease build, you can play that, and every time you're going to feign death, it's going to remove poisons and disease effects, so that's quite strong as well. But I would say, in general, you would be playing this. I decided to not go for Moment of Opportunity after testing on BM Hunter and MM. I felt like it is not that strong because it's a 1-minute CD. It might be interesting, but again, you don't really control whatever it's going to pop. I wish it was like a button you can press, and then whenever the next trap you're going to do, you can activate it that. But right now, like again, you might trap someone and you're yourself rooted, so it's going to proc it for nothing basically. So I personally don't really enjoy the 1-minute CD static charge on it, so I don't really like that. Let's talk about hero towns before Spectre. I pick back later because I think Sentinel in PvP is just not that great. It's very hard to keep players into the Lunar Storm, which is the biggest damage you can have. Obviously, you can also have damage with your Sentinel. I would say the damage potential on Sentinel is the best, but in PvP, in real life PvP, I would say it is very hard to make full effect of it. And I think the pack leader, although the damage is still good compared to Dark Ranger, we have like a big defensive which is then recovery, and just with that alone it actually justifies pack leader. And again, I think they need to rework the hero towns in general. But there's a few things I like. For example, Furious Assault, I really like it on Survival Hunter because it does reset. It does reduce the cost of my Mongoose Bite, but also deal more damage. And imagine if you have like 5 stacks of Mongoose Bites, and then you're doing this, it's going to do a lot of damage. We have also like a lot of ways to deal good damage. Tireless Hunt, again, aspect of the Nishita has a lot more value. We have Kill the Herd, again, more damage, more bleed damage, more just pet damage in general. And we have Pack Assault, again, doing more damage. So you have just a few talents which are pretty useless, like for example this one. In PvP it is unusable, and that's pretty much it. Now, Spectre. Loads of changes. You see the positioning of all the talents are changed. Kill command is still very present. Every time you're going to reset, it's going to do something good. So it's quite nice. We have Wildfire Bomb again. We don't have Wildfire Infusion anymore, so you don't have like those types of bombs. But now the dot damage is a rolling dot, so it means that you can reapply it and it will add the damage. So it's not bad to spam it, I would say. Like before, you try to have a wildfire bomb and the duration at least before you can do it again, or you're doing it for the instant damage, but the dot itself is going to just be refreshed. This is going to be a rolling dot, so it means that the damage is going to be reapplied, and the damage that is like on the target and needs to be applied is going to be added to the new damage. So it's quite nice. We have a guerrilla tactics, again the same. We have quick shot. I decided to take it because when kill command's cooldown is reset, you have a 30% chance to fire an arcane shot at your target at 100% of normal value, which is not that great. Arcane shot doesn't do too much damage, but Sulfur Lines does make it very worth it, because every 3 quick shots you're going to do an explosive shot at 100% effectiveness. And we all know explosive shot now, whenever you're going to reapply an explosive shot, it is going to detonate what is already on the target, and then you're going to have another explosive shot on the target that is going to be able to be detonated. And if you're spamming it, it's going to do boom, 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 boom kind of feel, and it does a lot of damage. So this I really like. And you're going to say, but Torgrade, the resets are going to be very rare. True, but a bit less. We have a lot of things that are going to help you to reset the cooldown. So we have, for example, Flanker's Advantage, which is also quite nice. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you're doing a kill command and you have a high crit, it's going to reset and automatically have another a chance at quick shot. We have a lot of things that is going to help you to reset it, and a lot of things that is going to help you to deal a lot more damage. So basically we have wildfire bombs again being augmented. Launch has been nerfed, so only auto attacks with a two-handed weapon reduces the cooldown of wildfire bombs by 1 second. So it has nothing to do with the range. Range was more like a bit stronger, but this is going to help you with the CDR on wildfire bombs, and you'll see that wildfire bomb is something that you're going to have a lot. It's going to reset quite often. We have also here Wildfire Infusion, which is Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike have a 50% chance to reset kill command's cooldown, and kill command reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb. So every time you're going to do a kill command, it's going to reduce the CD on Wildfire Bomb, which is again something that is going to be quite good. We have here, for example, Wildfire Bomb dealing more damage, but also having a chance to reset the cooldown of Explosive Shot, which is 25%, which is quite big. Chances are you're going to be able to reset it, and every time you're going to do an explosive shot, it is going to reduce again the cooldown of wildfire bomb by 4 seconds. So you see a bit the playstyle. It is going to be around bombs, it's going to be around mongoose bites, it's going to be about explosive shots, and then obviously your kill shots doing a lot of damage. Ranger has been nerfed. Kinda. It's now a 1 pointer, but it was 40% with 2 points. Now it's only 20% with 1 point. But effectively, the talent trees are a lot better than previously. You understand that right now, the talent trees, everything costs 1 point except the lower talents where you have only like 3 nodes, the gates, that are going to give you 2 points to be able to spend. And I think every single spec needs that. Enhancement Shaman still has a problem with that and needs to be fixed. I still think it is one of the specs that has the most 2 pointers, and that needs to be really changed. And a lot of those talents needs to be merged, but I'm going to make an Enhancement Shaman video very soon. But as you may know, I am already disappointed about Enhancement Shaman. Flanking Strike, a lot of damage, and also an additional 50% damage bonus to Flanking Strike. And Flanking Strike, tip of the spear is also increased because of your based on your critical strike. So if you have 20% and it's 15% base, it's going to give you 30. It's going to be giving you 35% increased damage on your next spell, which is a lot of damage. And it's going to be a modifier on that, so it's also very good. We have also here your spearhead, which is again going to help you with the increased damage on your tip of the spear, with also this one, which is going to make it a 2-minute CD. But I'm going to talk about it really quickly. Here we have like Viper's Venom, so now we don't have separate sting anymore, but it is applied automatically with Mongoose Bite. But as you may know, it is still worth it to have it as a survival hunter, because we have Outland Venom, which is every single dot is going to give you another modifier to your critical strike damage. So like I said, a lot of like modifiers around crit, so it makes me believe that crit is going to be very interesting on Survival Hunter, especially in PvP. We have Killer Companion, again, increased damage on kill command. We don't really like need the damage on kill command, but we need to progress towards Spearhead, which is basically going to give you chance to critical strike your target by 30% for 10 seconds. So it is even going to be modifying tip of the spear a lot more. So you're going to hurt a lot. And then you have Deadly Duo, which is going to reduce the CD. So now it's a 1-minute CD. And it is going to also increase the critical strike damage against the target by 30%. Again, a modifier around damage and the critical strike chance. So if this is not an indication that you want to play crit, I don't know why. I don't know what else. Now again, it's not because you want to have crit that you need to go full crit. I think going full crit is kind of hard because mastery is also a great modifier, and also haste is super needed for mongoose bites to have like stacks effectively, right? And GCDs, you need a lot of like usage on your GCDs to make up for all the amount of spells you have. Here we have sweeping a spear. It should be 10%, by the way. It is not 1%. Increased damage on mongoose bite and butchery and raptor strike. We have coordinated assault, which is going to give you a lot of damage, but also is going to improve the initial damage of wildfire bomb and also make a bleed on kill shot. So it will be bleed the target for 50% of the kill shot damage over 6 seconds. And whenever you're going to use your coordinated assault, it is going to be able to be kill shotted regardless of the HP. So it is 2 talents in one. They merged those 2 talents that we had in Dragonflight, and it is for the better, but also a 1-minute CD because of this one. So it will have a 30% uptime throughout the arenas because it's a 1-minute CD on a 20-second duration, which is quite huge. I mean, I think this is a bit busted, but we'll have to see. Or else we have the second part, which is also quite nice. So it generates one additional stack of tip of the spear whenever you're going to kill command, but also you gain 10% haste. And also the tip of the spear damage bonus is increased by 50%, but it is the increase on the 15%. So if it's 15%, it's going to be 7.5% increased. Of course, you can increase it by yourself with crit or with the spearhead. So basically, you can have a lot of value with it. Now, is it going to be necessary to go for the 2-minute CD coordinated assault? I don't know. I feel like 1-minute CD is very strong, especially in this current meta, which is still working out. But I think having a 1-minute CD go is very correct. It's very good, especially since you can like basically make someone trinket and then 1 minute after they don't have a trinket and they have to deal with it. So it is a very good city to use on a 1-minute city, especially since you can combine coordinated assault with spearhead together, so it can be very, very effective. Whenever you're going to use coordinated assault, you're going to charge also 2 of those wildfire bombs, so you can be able to do another go with my wildfire bombs. But also, whenever the coordinated assault ends, you have a 4-second gap where you can do explosive shots without a CD and without any cost. So you can basically spam it. On a dummy, you can do 2 or 3 depending on the amount of haste you have. And it does a lot of damage. So again, I think Survival Hunter is doing good. The left side is kind of bad. I think Fury of the Eagle should be higher or should be baseline, because they want us to play that, but it's very hard to make it work. Maybe in PvE it is very good, but in PvP it is really, really clunky, and it was already clunky, but it had like the tier set that made up for it with the wildfire bombs. But right now we don't have that anymore, so the value of it is way lower. So yeah, now let's talk about the dummy work. So basically, it is Survival Hunter, so it does a lot of damage in general. So we're going to go in, and you see I can just do mongoose bites. Again, it does a lot of damage. I can kill command, mongoose bite, and I can just wildfire bomb. And whenever I'm going to be able to do my go, I'm going to do my go once I have the 5 stacks. So I'm going to try to get 5 stacks really quickly. Doing 5 stacks, and I'm going to go coordinated assault into kill shot, into explosive shot, into wildfire bombs. We need to have the dot as well. And it's very hard to keep up on mongoose bites because, again, I think the hardest part is you have so many CDs to press and so many things that you can press. It's very hard to know which abilities comes first, but I really like it, to be honest. Like, this is, like, now I'm spamming explosive shots. This is really a lot of damage, like, and again, I didn't use my spearhead, so you could easily have your spearhead with a macro. And that could be interesting to play around, right? Yeah, this is a lot of damage too. It's impressive, let me say. It doesn't consume it. Tip of the grants an additional 50% bonus to fucking strikes. It doesn't consume tip of the spear for some reason. But now I'm going to do another go again with coordinated assault. I wish I could make Trophy GCD work, but it doesn't work right now on War Within, so like on the beta, so it sucks. Like the resets are so good. Like once you have a reset, it's a lot of damage. So in 4 seconds we have the resets of explosive shots. I'm going to do right now, and now I'm going to do explosive shots after explosive shots, and that gets like pure priority. So you get around 3 to 4 explosive shots depending on how you count it, right? So it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. And you see my top 2 damage, it is Mongoose Bite and also Explosive Shot being like very strong. So that's really interesting. And again, you have a lot of AoE damage as well, huh? So hopefully you can really see what I'm doing. I'm going to show you on details as well, but this is really good. I wish I had my UI because it's very hard to know if something is going up or not. But yeah, it is a lot of damage. So let's see. So we have Mongoose Bite doing some good damage. It's 780k critical strike, which is not bad, especially on something that is very spammable. We have explosive shots. We have 14 hits, and you have to understand it is really interesting on how it plays, because the damage is really instant. Like, they cannot really dispel it, because what I did as a healer is whenever I see explosive shot, I dispel it. But how can you dispel something that is spammable like this ability on Survival Hunter? Then you have your kill commands doing some okay damage, like 260k with your bite. It's still 12.5% of your whole damage depend, so it's not that bad. We have kill command, kill shot doing 1.2 million. We have wildfire bombs doing 850k, plus also the dot, which is a rolling dot, like I said. So you have 17 bombs for 95 hits, and it does around 20% of your damage. So if you count everything together, wildfire bombs is still 20% of your damage, regardless of anything, right? Then you have Death Chakrams, you have Serpent Sting, which is also still 10% of your damage, which is not to be underestimated. You have Vicious Hunt, which is not that great, but it's still there, and it is like 12 hits still, and it adds more damage on your kill command. We have Kill the Herd, again, that's the bleed that you get on your kill shot. You have your melee strikes, flanking strikes, which is a bit underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. We have Arcane Shot, only 1 hit. I don't know why. I guess I'm very unlucky with the quick shot. So I guess it's maybe not that good, because this is a 30% chance, and I thought maybe that it would be proccing more, but it only procced 1 time on the whole duration. It was how many minutes? How can I see? I can see it like this. 3.3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So it is really underwhelming. So I might not play that, but it's very hard. So you take this 2 away, then you can put those 2 points elsewhere. You can either put it on maybe kill shots, critical strikes, resets the cooldown of kill command, maybe, but it's not that good. Maybe Bloodseeker. I think Bloodseeker is also quite nice, because you do get also a modifier for Alpha Venom, so that might be good. You can play like this, and you can play Alpha Predator, so you can play those 2 together instead of those 2. So you have more damage on kill command, you have more damage also bleed wise, and with that bleed you need more also damage on your overall critical strike modifier, right? So you have critical strike damage, and that is going to help you with the output. So this is quite nice. Let's talk about mastery really quickly, because I do feel like it is going to be good. So like now I'm in combat, I have like 16%, and you and your pet deal 15% increased damage and take 6% reduced damage. This bonus increased by 100% when you're within 25 yards of each other. So now it should be around 30% increased damage on your abilities, and 12% reduced damage if I read it correctly. Now the issue is, I think those numbers are way too big. Although I'm like spamming mastery obviously. But I feel like it's only going to be 6% reduced damage. If it's not the case, if it's 12%, which would be very strong, it's a perma, like, semi-wall. And that is going to make Survival Hunter one of the most sturdiest and tankiest spec of the... remember, we got Fury Warrior nerfed on their enrage, which gave a 10% reduction, and it was like an enrage. And it got nerfed to 5%. So I guess this is going to be nerfed in PvP as well. That is my take. We'll have to see. But I do like the current version of Survival Hunter. If I have to judge the fun factor and the rework, I think Survival Hunter has been the best rework. Then it would be BM Hunter. And I feel like MM Hunter, in retrospective, I don't feel like it's a rework. I feel like it's like a buff towards defensives and a bit of a different damage profile, although I feel like it's the same. So I feel like MM Hunter is probably the loser out of those three. But again, if you did like MM Hunter in Dragonflight, it is a straight upgrade in War Within. So you cannot be mad because of that. But Survival Hunter, if you didn't like it in Dragonflight, you might even like it in War Within. And BM Hunter, I think it is a straight rework in how it plays. I really like it. I like how they changed the talents. I like how it's really bleed focused. I like how the pets can deal like insane amount of damage. Yeah, I just wish the masteries get like changed towards more of a master that is also applied to the hunter itself, instead of only the pets. But I personally like it. The thing that I'm very disappointed, and I already said it in BM Hunter video, but also in the MM Hunter video, I feel like the hero talents are really let down, so I don't like them. It actually needs a rework, in my opinion, a redesign, not even a rework, a redesign. It should be scratched and start from the bottom, but we'll have to see. I don't think they're going to do that, but it's always like this: 2 steps forwards and then 1 step backwards, and we need to be at a snail pace to get where we should be getting. But I think the next video will be about shaman. It has been shown to be precise, and it would be a bit of a rant video. I did play it yesterday. I am disappointed with most of the things, but we'll have to discuss about it, and I think it will be an interesting video for you guys that are maybe also enhancement shaman mains. Again, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you, and we will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.